Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and I hope you guys had a great week and that your weekend has started well as well. So now the breaking news is that I did have a haircut. I have had a haircut and I can now see what's going on. But what I will say is that when I had my haircut, unbelievably, I'm going to skip those adverts already, unbelievably, I don't know what happens, but when I have a haircut, my hair always takes on another personality. So that at the hairdressers, it's washed and then it's cut and then it's dried. So that when the fringe is cut, because it's dried, it should be sitting where it sits. And at the hairdressers, the fringe was below my eyebrows and just above my eyes. So that's where we cut it to. And then 2 days later, it's about an inch higher. So yeah, I don't know what it's playing at. Obviously, it curls more. Maybe it's the particular shampoo or conditioner that they use that make it go straight or something. And then without that, it is now curlier. But anyway, at least I can see what's going on. So I can see you guys in the live chat room, and hello to you in there. We have Dwayne, Angela Rowe, Tammy, Billy, Arlene, Alison, Laurie, Gale, Ninja Kitty, Corey, Melody Rocks, Pam K36, Bob's in there as well. Hello to all you guys. Thank you for spending your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you are with me. So now let's get everything up on screen. Before I started the live stream, I realised, actually it took like 2 minutes to connect to YouTube. It's always random as to how long that takes. But I realised that I hadn't saved the pictures that I should have done last week, so I had to resave those. And I mean, this was all kicking off while we were listening to Percy Johnson, or while you were, and I was trying to kind of right click, save as, and then it wasn't saving it in the normal folder. So I thought, well, where are these pictures being saved to? And in the end, I just had to take screenshots of my screen because I know where the screenshot folder is, so I can access those. So anyway, we will have a picture corner later on. It's just all been a bit hectic at the beginning of tonight's live stream. But let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. You know who you are. I always say that they're the foundation of everything that I do. And yeah, allow me to do all of the videos on the channel, the live streams, analysis videos, cover videos that I've done in the past as well, and all of that cool stuff. So yeah, thank you guys. Now, the likes goal for tonight. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but 465 is what we're going to be aiming for. It might be correct. So, but anyway, that is going to be the target for tonight. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we'll see if we can get close to that target of 465. Now, if we do hit that target, we're going to be having Phil Jam number 266. And that is correct on screen as well, which is great. Now, one thing that I haven't done is set up the likeometer, and why has it disappeared? Right, grab that there. Quick screen capture in order to hopefully show it on screen. And there it is. So we are at 210, which means we're looking for 255 more people to hit the thumbs up before the end of the live stream. So we're always up against it with the live streams and trying to, get as many likes as possible before the end to then bust out the guitar and have a jam. Now, another thing that I've just noticed is I don't think we're zoomed in. The red dude is asleep today. He always takes a little bit of a while to wake up. Where is Mr. Red Dude? Oh, he's not even... Oh, there he is. It took about 10 minutes to arrive. So, I noticed that there's a bit of gap above my head, which just means that we're not zoomed in. So, Red Dude did turn up eventually. We're now back to where we normally are with the framing of the screen, so we can move forward. So, the last thing to get up on screen is the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great, but there are people that can't resist donating, and I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But you don't have to donate. So, I mean, a lot has been happening recently on the channel, not to mention the fact that we have gone up by another 1,000 subscribers, and I will put this up on screen while I remember to do it. And 504,000 subscribers at the moment, which is great, and thank you guys for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, interacting with the videos and all of that stuff. And all of that stuff really does help not only these live streams to get out there when people hit the thumbs up, but also just for the channel to grow on the whole. So yes, thank you everyone for subscribing, and I will get rid of that. The other thing that we've had on the channel recently, I mentioned in a video that I made, was it on Sunday? It might have been Sunday, I'm not sure, it might have been Wednesday, but all the videos seem to kind of blend into one as to which one I released last. Like even last night, which was Judas Priest, Rob Halford, even that, it's like, well, when did I release that video? And then I realised, oh, well, that was only last night that I did that. So yeah, time seems to get, I was going to say moved around, but not really. It's like more distorted. Like everything just rolls into one that you don't know when you did things. But anyway, before that video, we had a look at Sir Paul McCartney in the early 60s and the late 60s. And the reason that I made that video, and there's a bit of a break from the normal kinds of videos, the reason I made that video is because I was getting so many messages about the video that I made years ago. And YouTube was just pushing that video out there. And when that happens, obviously people don't know when I made that video. So they're commenting and messaging me and emailing as if I've just released that video. So they say, oh, in your video you said that, you know, Paul did this and Paul did that. And then I'm thinking, hang on, that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that particular video. So yeah, people were messaging me a lot about that. So when other people have commented who watch the channel and might not know, they might have been watching the channel in the last 2 years, they might not have seen that previous analysis video, they might say, oh, why are you focusing on this? Or why are you wasting your time on this? You know, because it was obviously a break from the normal analysis videos because they hadn't seen my previous one. I think I actually did 2 of them where, yeah, I was proving that it was still Paul McCartney's voice and analysing it and doing all that kind of stuff. And yeah, some people... Again, in that video, I explain absolutely everything. That what we're looking at with the evidence and the imagery is undeniable. That it is the same person. And I have had some people comment who have said that they believed in the conspiracy theory for, 40 years or 50 years. And they now don't believe it anymore because of my analysis video. And I mean, even though we're not analysing, music and pitch lines and all that kind of stuff, I think the way that I do the videos, I'm always going to break it down to its most fundamental level of just analysing and looking at things and making a sensible decision about what you're looking at and taking it in that information in the most logical way. So anyway, in that video, I say, look, here we go. We're looking at the veins. The vein, there's only one of them, and I showed in that video that I've got multiple veins in my hands, or my left hand especially. I think probably I've got just as many in my right hand. But anyway, it means that just having one prominent vein that moves the way that it did is unique. So when you look at that and it's never changed throughout the early 60s, I mean, even some really early pictures that we looked at, really early 60s, going all the way through to now, how that vein is still there. There's only one explanation for that, and that is that it's the same person. That they haven't replaced him with somebody else who had exactly the same single vein, but also looked exactly the same, had all the same skills, and was left-handed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, in that video, I do say that now everything is absolutely beyond doubt. And for those people that still believe in the conspiracy theory, I've also got an explanation for that as well. And I mean, that included just not having or not playing with a full deck. But that is a valid explanation for then when you don't take on the information, the objective data that is being presented, that a logical mind, and one that isn't, limited by, something that might be going on with somebody's, mental capabilities. If you take on that information, that objective information, and you apply your logical mind to it, there's only one answer to what we were looking at. So, and this is where people won't believe what I'm about to say. Even after my video of pointing this out, that he's never changed, and this is after the analysis of him playing bass and the fact that his techniques never changed, and he anchored his hand in exactly the same place on the guitar, his left hand. Even being left-handed is unique in itself. Playing, singing at the same time, all of that stuff. And after that final video of seeing that it is the same person, some people, I had a few comments, and one person said, so how do you explain the height difference? So anyway, I say to them, everything is explained in the video. That the height difference is explained by yourself and the way that you take in information. That you obviously can't take in what is objective fact and how logical that is, but you believe that he's grown 3 inches in height and that it can't be that he was maybe wearing shoes that had a bit more of a heel, and maybe John Lennon was barefoot. That has to be the easiest explanation for any discrepancy in height. And how many times have you seen a picture of somebody who, like Tom Cruise, for example? I don't know how tall he is, but I think he's maybe 5'7" or 5'8". Again, that's a guess. So he's 5'7" or 5'8". So how do you explain that in some pictures he might be as tall as somebody who's 5'11"? That happens all the time with angles and how close somebody is to the camera. They're going to appear larger than the person behind. So there are so many things. And Tom might have, he might be wearing platform shoes that you can't see in a picture. I mean, pictures are rarely full length pictures or photos. But yeah, saying that believing a particular theory due to that over the fact that it's the vein in their hand hasn't changed in their whole life, believing the other thing that, oh yeah, well, that's not conclusive about the vein being there and having never changed throughout his whole life. But what is conclusive is that he looks a different height in one of these photos. So yeah, I don't get it. I understand why they're saying these things, because they can't they can't break down the information in a logical way. It's something that their brain obviously has a bit of trouble with. But anyway, there we have it. that I mean, it's always interesting, but I think with the latest video, that is the final one ever, because if you can't take in that information, then there's no hope of being able to explain it to somebody that still believes a conspiracy theory that it's a different person. So yeah, anyway, there we have it, as I said. Right, we are going to be moving on, and I can see that there have been some donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And it is Timothy who's donated $4.99. So thank you for that. And that is a straight up donation. Orlando's donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, that looks like Ted Nugent on your t-shirt. So no, or I might look, there you go. You can see at the bottom, I need to sit up straight, and then you can see it's Rory Gallagher. So yeah, I mean, I think it can look like lots of people, actually. Yeah, kind of lots of different rock stars with big hair that are doing that kind of expression. I guess because it's in a t-shirt kind of design, it's a little bit more difficult to make out. But no, it is definitely a Rory Gallagher. So thank you for that, Orlando. Orlando's donated $2 again and says, I am watching baseball and then American football later. I will catch up with a wave. So thank you for that. And at the moment, here in the UK, or is it just England? Maybe it's just England, or it might be Wales as well. It's the Women's Rugby World Cup. And rugby is kind of like American football, only without all of the padding and stopping playing every 2 seconds. So yeah, it's people just bashing into each other, and yeah, basically just trying to kill each other. So that's on at the moment, and England are in the quarterfinals, I do believe, and that's going to be happening tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. I've taken an interest in it now, because I think it's always the case that when your team starts doing quite well, you start to get a little bit more interested in it. You think, oh, hang on, yeah, we could actually get into the semi-final, then we could get into the final, and then we could actually win it. And because it's being held here at the moment, I think a lot of people can watch it because it is on TV. So yeah, we'll have to see how they get on. But yeah, fingers crossed for all that. I don't really understand American football. Obviously, American football, you're allowed to throw it forward as well. So it's some bit. I know that you have to get forward either 10 yards or 10 meters or something, and then you start again at that new point, and then you've got to go forward 10 meters again, and then you start again at a new point, and then eventually you're looking to get the ball to the other end of the pitch, and you don't have to put it down. You just have to catch it or take it into the end zone. Is that what it's called? I think it might be. So yeah, I mean it looks quite cool. Not that I really understand too much of what's going on, but yeah, some of the throws and some of the catches are very impressive. So not even sure how long the match goes on for. But I know that baseball matches, I guess it's like our cricket that we have here. They go on for absolutely ages. And I think that's what I like about football here in the UK. It's just 90 minutes and that's it, hour and a half, done and dusted. It's not going to go on for hours and hours and hours and hours. But anyway, thank you for that. And Jan has donated 20 Norwegian kroner, so thank you for that. And the message is, thank Elizabeth for no Sir John. So thank you for that. And Karen's donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, your hair looks great. I can see your eyebrows. So yes, and I can see my eyebrows as well. I guess, if I do an expression like that, then I can't see them, but then they go back to normal, or I could get rid of one and keep the other one there. But anyway, and Willie has donated £2 and says, Gary Newman. So thank you for that. We're just getting kind of some names thrown out there. Or is that maybe a request for an analysis video? I've already done one on Gary Newman. And that was relatively recently, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure whether we're just kind of throwing things out. And Vicky has donated $5, so thank you for that. And I can I just did that. I just read underneath while I was looking at Vicky's one. I looked at Willie's donation, and yeah, I actually beat the moderators to that one. So, but thanks for the donation, but make sure that you read the guidelines, which you can find in the description below for the live streams, to make sure that you do follow the guidelines, because if you don't, then yeah, the moderators will step in. But I did beat them to it there because I saw it as soon as it did pop up. But thank you for that, Vicky, the $5 donation. The message is, wow, I ordered my shirt on Sunday, Oz time, and I got it on Friday, Oz time. So, thank you for that, Vicky. And, I mean, it's amazing because with the previous suppliers of Spring, it's now Dashery, but the previous suppliers were Spring. And, yeah, they took a very long time. Like, even orders in the USA took a very long time to come through. So, yeah, that's... I don't know, hopefully that's all in the past and it's all been rectified now. I mean, hence the reason why I changed to Dashery, just because I thought they would be more reliable and they had, good reviews, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the fact that it's made it all the way to Australia in less than a week, that is... yeah, very impressive indeed. But anyway, then Willie donated £2 again. So thank you for that, even though I think quite clearly breached the guidelines of the live stream. And Rocking Babe has donated $9.99. So thank you for that. And the message is, to extend the youthful years, do not squint or wrinkle your forehead from now on. So thank you for that. Yeah, top tip, in order not to look older, just never make any facial expressions ever. I think I kind of fail. I make loads of facial expressions, so I think I fail with that, unfortunately. But I suppose if you're really worried about it, you could try and cover your. But it's not just your forehead that gets wrinkles in it. You could grow out your hair if you have enough hair to grow out, and you can cover up your forehead if you're really worried about it. But I think the best thing is just I don't know, keep yourself in shape, drink enough water. I think drinking enough water is a huge part of it. And that's why I'll bring this on screen again like I did last time. Look at the size of that. That's 2 litres. Well, it's not 2 litres anymore because I've been drinking it today. But a 2-litre bottle of water. I think that, yeah, for me it just makes sense that if you're drinking water and you're fully hydrated, then your skin is not going to be dry, and I think when it's drier it creases more or something. I'm not an expert in this. I'm just saying what I think might happen according to how I process information in my head. One thing that I do know is that when I was having a lot of trouble with my skin, and I mean I've had acne for 30 years almost. Yeah, about 1 year of having it for 30 years. So when I was going through treatment for it, because it's quite severe when I was a teenager, and then in my late teens I was then on Roaccutane, which is the most severe thing you can take. So you've got to have quite a serious condition of it to take that. So I took that, and even that didn't wipe it out. So my skin is immune to any treatment. I say that it's not because I then figured out all of my triggers in my diet that would make me break out in acne. And yeah, one of those was white potatoes and fish. And I can remember back in the day my mum would make a fish pie, and that was fish with a topping of potato. So looking back now, I thought, I wonder why my face was so horrific when I was younger. And you think, well, that might have been something to do with it, because that would cause outbreaks for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So I know which foods to avoid. And yeah, I now use benzoyl peroxide. But anyway, getting back to it, they said when I was like a teenager, they said, you've got, they didn't say, you got really bad skin, but they say that the positive part about having or being prone to acne is that it means that your skin has more oil in it. So it means that your skin won't age as much as other people who have got dry skin and don't have any acne and all that stuff. Obviously, at the time, I didn't really care about that. I thought, I don't care about having skin that doesn't age very much. I just want all of this stuff gone from my face. So, yeah. But now everything is a little bit more under control, which is good. But if I just totally jumped off the wagon of everything that I do to keep it under control, I'd go back to kind of when I was 13 years old, and everything would go crazy again. So anyway, right now, let me just jump into the super chat window again, because we have had that was the message from Rocking Babe, who was saying about squinting and causing wrinkles. My vocal journey's donated $10 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, did you go to the Ozzy celebration in Birmingham? Also, Randy or Zach is your fave? So thank you for this, and I've already answered that question about Randy or Zach. And I went for Randy in the end, and I won't go through all of the reasons that I did on the other live stream. But I didn't go to the Ozzy celebration, but I did look at the show because I was asked to analyse it. And yeah, I think with the show, I mean, it was such a historic event and raised so much money for charity. And yeah, I think as I said in live streams since, that it's a classy way to go out for that to be your last action musically, to do a show like that and raise so much money for charity. So it's an amazing event. I didn't go to it, but it was certainly with all of the talent that was on stage there as well, and Steven Tyler, who also, now this is the other thing, that the most recent tribute with Youngblood, I think his name is, and Steven Tyler performing on stage as well, even though Steven has retired from singing because of his vocal cord surgery that didn't go as planned, and I spoke about that in another video. But I think that particular performance has, well, seemingly had a very mixed response from people online. So yeah, I'm not really going to jump into kind of all of that, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, because you think, well, if it's going to be a tribute, why not just get all of the guys there who are kind of as closely related to what went on as possible? But I know that the Youngblood guy was good friends with Ozzy, and that's kind of why he was there. But I mean, I don't know his music myself. I hadn't heard of him before the whole Ozzy Osbourne tribute thing that happened recently. So yeah, I think I'm trying to think. I know. I mean, I was really focused on the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath, obviously part of the Birmingham show. So I think maybe Youngblood performed there, but it wasn't something that I necessarily looked at. My focus was kind of taken more towards the musicians that I knew, and only now really do I know about Youngblood, or at least know his face, and know that he's involved and was involved in the whole tribute thing. It's difficult because I know that a lot of hardcore fans kind of think along the same lines, that, well, if it's a tribute, you get everyone together who of that era. But then again, I know that you can say, well, what about reaching a younger audience? Should we put somebody younger in there who's more relevant to today's industry, to try and get more people to then check out Ozzy Osbourne's music and Black Sabbath, and try to get a new demographic to listen and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very difficult, because when something is a tribute, I think the long-term fans, they want it to be something that's more connected to the whole history of Ozzy and Black Sabbath, and everything that was put out there and achieved, and changing the music industry, and certainly having a huge effect on other artists around at the time. So yeah, anyway, I will move on from that. But thank you, Josie, who has donated $20 as well. And this is a lemon head man, or lemon head woman, or a lemon head thing doing something. It looks like hearts that are coming out. So thank you for that. And Diamond Girls donated $2 and says, Phil, any plans for a Dashery visor? A visor? I'm not even sure what one of those is. So in a word, no, there are no plans for a visor. Whatever that is I don't think it's something that we wear here. But the image that I saw when I read the word visor is like a hat that has a see-through bit in it. But in this country, we don't really need that kind of thing, because the sun's never out. So there's no plans for that. And I don't know whether these things are options or not. I'd have to look through all of the options on Dashery to see if they've got, because obviously I can only choose from the items that Dashery make, and yeah, I can have a look through there. I know that I have got an email from them that I'll have to try and respond to soon, about getting items, or what do they call them, like example items, but and not prototypes. I can't think of the word, but where they send me any items that I want in order just to see what they're like. And I'm thinking I might get a mug, t-shirt and a hoodie. I might get those sent to me so that I can wear those. But then again, I think with the hoodies, the design is just on the back. So you get a big Wings of Pegasus symbol on the back, but then there's nothing on the front. There's no option to upload any imagery for the front of the hoodie, unfortunately. So I just got a little bit of dust that was inhaled, but I think I will survive. Right. So thank you for that. Thank you for all of those donations over in the super chat window, and there have been some donations in the PayPal window as well. And I'll just wait for this to load up. It is John who donated £5. So thank you for that, John. And let me see if I can skip to the next one. I can. It's Lisa W who has donated £7 and 7 pence. So thank you for that, Lisa W. And the message is, "Hi Phil, while watching the Tuesday live stream, I noticed something. The YouTube plaque on your studio wall is actually a mirror. I saw it reflect when you grabbed your guitar for the jam. Cool." So thank you for that. And yes, it is reflective. And I mean, you should be able to see this on screen as well. What is it reflecting at the moment? It looks like the top of one of the guitars. I can see, kind of looks like the guitar neck there somewhere. It's very small on the screen, but yeah, it is a mirror. So yeah, it will be reflecting things. Thank you for that. And Karen has donated £4. Just going to try and move this out the way a little bit so I can see what's going on. Thank you for that. And the message is, "Hi Phil, I loved your recent analysis. I enjoy hearing artists not faking it. When hearing these artists perform live and raw, do you hope that others will realise the dangers of fakery? Thanks, Karen." So I think people will just do what they do. Like, if people are trying to get away with it, then they'll try and get away with it. And I mean, more recently, I saw a video actually from Chris Lipe, who is a friend of the channel, and we've done a few videos together in the past, and I think he's now starting to, I don't know, maybe be exposed to a lot of the stuff that I've been exposed to over the last couple of years, few years, where he's noticing how much is not real and is pitch corrected, and more importantly, voices that are AI created. And I mean, yeah, I am planning to touch base with him about it in the future, because this is something that with my Authentic Vocal project, I'm very keen to start getting into that again. And I was speaking to Jeff Scott Soto the other night, the night before, but I did mention Authentic Vocal, and maybe trying to move it in a particular direction where we can start getting the logo out there. And this is another thing that I might start putting the merchandise on the Dashery store for Wings of Pegasus, so that you'll be able to get the Authentic Vocal, potentially hoodie, t-shirt, so it will have have the symbol on there. So people might ask, "Oh, what's all that about?" And you say, "Well, this is somewhere that you can go to actually hear real singers and real vocals, and not AI." And this is the other thing about Authentic Vocal, that when I first had the idea of setting it all up, it was very much just for live shows and people knowing what they're paying for when they turn up. But it is starting now to become even more important to say that Authentic Vocal is non-AI as well. There's going to be nothing AI about performances and voices that you hear on that page, on the YouTube channel or on Instagram. So yeah, I'll be pushing that out maybe over the next few months, because I'm just gauging how to approach it, because there are different ways of doing it, and this is what I'm going to be chatting about with Jeff. Different ways of getting it out there, because you can either do it from a location perspective, like everything going on here in the UK. I can approach venues and start to get agreements with venues that put on particular shows, that they might have a show that is fully authentic, where all of the bands are singing live and doing all that kind of stuff. There's another way of covering independent bands and artists, which is something that I do have contacts on that side of things, through Jeff as well, where I can talk with management companies who might want their artists to be known as authentic vocalists. But I would like to find a way that we can push it out across the internet and not just start in locations in the UK, just covering particular venues. I mean, it might have to start that way, but I'd like to push it out there as much as possible, as quickly as possible, so that, especially with the rise in AI, so that there is a genuine option for people that don't want to be listening to AI vocals and don't want to be listening to vocals that have been heavily edited and pitch shifted and pitch corrected, so that it's now not actually what was produced at the time of a particular performance. So I'll be looking at getting on that over the next few months as to how I'm going to navigate it, how I'm going to get it out there. But anyway, look out for that merchandise. I'll let you guys know over on Patreon, of course, as and when I upload any designs, so that we can start wearing the hoodies. Bob says the pullover hoodies on Dashery have the logo on the front. I just got one today. So thank you for that, Bob. So maybe it's maybe it's just the zipped hoodies that don't have the logo on the front. But I can message Dashery and see if they do have that option on there. It's just that when I'm uploading the designs, there are no options for it on the front. So, PM112 says an ambulance chaser ad. Really? I don't even know what that is. But with adverts, this is it. That I think a lot of people don't realise that YouTube shows you an advert for you. So it means that everyone gets different adverts. That's why when I was looking at lots of auto-tune performances and pitch correction, pitch corrected performances, but pitch correction plugins and different effects units that people were using live, I then started getting loads of adverts for pitch correction and for loop samples and for Melodyne and auto tune and all these different things, because it shows you the adverts that it thinks you want to see. So this is why, if you do see an advert and you're not sure why you've seen that particular advert, it'll be something in your search history or view history that is setting that off. And that's just the thing that happens nowadays. Just they try and get as much data on you as possible to know what you might be interested in order to show you a particular advert about that thing. But anyway, moving on, because we've had another donation in the PayPal window, and I will just jump into that. And it's Karen again with £3.14. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, you mentioned having many veins, so do I. For that reason, is it easy for doctors, nurses to take blood from you? For me, they love doing that. Sorry if I sickened you. Thanks for all you do, Karen. So thank you for that. And generally with me, they don't have a problem finding the vein. And you might even be able to see it here. The vein, I actually have a tiny freckle on the vein, so it's almost like an entry point. But I think, you can see it on that side as well. But I think my left arm is the one that's kind of you can just see it, and it's a little bit raised. So no problems finding that. But I think it's just more to do with the low fat percentage. I think the lower your fat percentage is, then the more you will see veins, and even doing that, you will see more in your arms because there's kind of nothing getting in the way of showing. Well, especially for people that might be wanting to take blood and stuff, there's nothing in the way, so they can see exactly where the muscles are, where the veins are, and I think I would rather that than having to be stabbed multiple times because they can't see where the vein is. That's always the problem. So yeah, I'll just keep my fat percentage low, and then as and when that's required, it'll be relatively straightforward. So anyway, Jackie's donated £1.41, so thank you for that. And the message is, I ordered chips and ice cream for tomorrow. How are things going for you with diet and exercise? So thank you for that. And well, yeah, certainly no chips and ice cream for me tomorrow. So my diet and exercise is pretty solid, I think. And I'm probably about 4 or 5 weeks into doing the exercises, not all of the exercises, but some of the exercises that I used to do when I was working out properly, when I was lifting very heavy weights. So I've taken those exercises, and it's seemingly okay with my ligaments and tendons in my right arm at the moment. So I'm just doing, like, for example, flies, or, like chest press, and, tricep extensions, all that kind of stuff that I'm doing, but with really light weights. So I'm not kind of building a huge amount of muscle, but I'm just testing it to see how my ligaments and tendons hold up. And it's generally, at the moment, a 4-day rest after I've exercised to then see what happens, because usually after 3 or 4 days, I then start getting aching going on from if the ligaments and tendons don't really like what was going on. But yeah, I've been doing that for like 4 or 5 weeks now. So yeah, even though I will say that I think the muscle memory is something that does kick in. So even if you're still working out with very light weights, your muscles, they adapt very quickly. And I think that if you've worked out before yourselves and you've built any kind of muscle mass and lean muscle mass, your body kind of gets used to it. So then when you start even lifting up light weights again, if it's starting from scratch, as my arms certainly were, after 4 or 5 weeks, I'd say that, they're starting to remember what they were like. But I don't think they're going to get to the size they were before until my ligaments and tendons can take that heavier weight that I used to do, which would be like, 6 reps per set. So you get to 6 and then you can't do any more because your muscles fail. But the problem with that is it's a lot of weight and tension to put your ligaments and tendons through, especially if they're recovering from damage. So at the moment my sets are about 20 reps. So that's just what I'm doing, keeping going, and then gradually increasing it. The next session maybe doing 21 reps, then maybe 22 reps. So I'm hoping that can increase. And then once I get up to a particular number, and then think, right, well, now I'm going to increase the weight, and then try and do maybe 15 or 20 reps with the heavier weight if the ligament and tendon can take it. So everything's relatively positive from that side of things, but we will see if it continues. So the diet is fine, but I think I've been doing things so long, exercising and watching my diet, that I don't really ever fall off the wagon. Because the other thing is that I have to eat very particular foods because of my face that I mentioned earlier. So eating white potato, for example, like crisps and chips and all that kind of stuff, I don't eat that anyway, so by default it keeps me healthier. So anyway, thank you for these donations. I'm just going to jump over into the super chat window, because Elaine's donated $5 and says, we need to spike the likes, running behind. So we're looking for 85 more people to hit the thumbs up. If you could do that, that'd be very much appreciated. And then we'll have Phil Jam number 266. So we'll see if we end up anywhere near that by the end of the live stream. And it is approaching midnight, so almost 5 to midnight here in the UK, which means we've got about 20 minutes left. So 20 minutes to find 85 or 84 people. So Diamond Girl has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, I'm doing weights for osteoporosis, walking the golf course and eating more protein. I'd rather eat cake. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, I think guys have lucked out with the whole osteoporosis thing because we do keep a higher density, or like calcium. The bones are denser and maintain their calcium more effectively. So as we grow older, it's not as much of a problem for guys. But the other thing about protein, like when I'm exercising, I think generally, and this is what I used to do when I was exercising properly, generally you're looking to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And I mean, that's what I used to follow, and it seemed to do the job quite well. So it means that, yeah, if you weigh 150 pounds, you needed 150 grams of protein. And now this is the other thing, that some people have protein shakes. And the reason that you're having protein shakes is so that the muscles can adapt, and next time you go and work out, you're stronger, and then you're effectively damaging the muscle fibers so that then they grow, they get stronger the next time. They kind of reconnect, and they reconnect almost with like swelling around them to make them stronger. And that swelling means that your muscles grow, that the hypertrophy, as it's called, which is why your muscles look bigger, because they are swelling, they're making it stronger. So anyway, when I was a teenager, in my early teens, I started working out, and they had protein powders back then that were absolutely disgusting. And it was pretty much the only thing that you could get was a protein powder that wasn't flavoured, and it was kind of a disgusting flavour. But because you're having that protein as a way to, get your body to adapt and grow and become better at whatever sport you were competing in, and I was playing football at that time, you're not really worried about the taste because you're eating it for a purpose. So I know that some people have protein and they say, oh, I had a protein shake and it was disgusting, or I didn't like the flavour and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is difficult. It's almost like Sylvester Stallone when he's necking the eggs, raw eggs. That's not something that I do, but it's more about feeding the body what it needs rather than getting something that's going to taste nice. But then again, nowadays there are protein powders that do taste nice. I've got unflavoured protein that I mix with a natural banana flavour and a natural strawberry flavour. So it means that I'm kind of half and half, unflavoured and a little bit of flavour, so that at least the unflavoured protein has a little bit of a taste to it. But sometimes I just have the unflavoured by itself because I'm used to the taste. I know that some people might drink it and they'll think, oh, this is disgusting. How can you drink that? But I've been drinking it for, probably 20 years. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me, the taste of it. And I guess that's the same for everything. Like if you just keep having it, eventually you get used to it and you're not bothered by it. So anyway, enough protein shake chat for tonight. And Bernadine says, eat meals. Now, this is the other thing, that if you know how much 150 grams of protein is, in a meal, you might get, if it's protein heavy, you might get 20 grams of protein, maybe 20 or 30 grams of protein. So that means that you're getting 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. You have to have 5 big meals a day. Now for me, I don't have time to eat 5 big meals a day, let alone prepare them or anything like that. So that's why I just have my normal meals, and then I supplement it, because it is supplementation. I supplement it with a protein shake that has 20 or 30 grams in it. So it means that you can have your 3 meals a day, and then you can have a couple of protein shakes or a few protein shakes, however you want to do it. So yeah, you should have a balanced and healthy diet, but sometimes it's just impossible especially if you're busy, it's impossible to get in the amount of protein that you need, unless you're doing it full time. If you are a full-time athlete, then you do have the time to spend on that because it's part of your profession. Whereas when you're making videos on YouTube, and answering emails, doing all that kind of stuff, it's a full-on thing. So it's not really preparing meals isn't something that I kind of get into. So anyway, 1968 DAS or DAS has donated $10, so thank you for that. And the message is, I thought you were like 22. Do you have a portrait hiding in the attic somewhere? Thank you for all your fantastic analysis videos. So thank you for that. And do I have a portrait? Or maybe a portal? I don't know what that means, hiding in the attic somewhere. But like I said, just kind of staying in shape, staying hydrated, all that kind of stuff. That's what I would suggest. And trying to get enough sleep as well, even though, to be totally honest, when I was talking to Jeff the other day, it was 6 a.m. and we were talking till about 7:30 a.m. So try and get enough sleep. I know that I fail sometimes at that, but sleep is a huge part of being able to recover, and I think just staying healthy. And that was a bit of a one-off. It just so happened that when you're talking, you kind of lose track of time. So anyway, thank you Elaine, who's donated $5 and says, try your protein powder mixed with your porridge. I do that with mine. Yummy. So thank you for that. And I've already got enough stuff in my porridge. I have porridge with blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, mandarin, and I think that's it. Oh, and then I have fruit juice, fruit juice with it. So I have lots of. So when I'm eating that in the plate, it's kind of piled up. So there's no space to get any protein in. But I mean, it's like when I wake up, the first thing that I do when I wake up is drink water from said massive water bottle and have protein with water. So and that's just unflavored protein that I have. So it means that as soon as I wake up, because when you're sleeping, you've had ideally 6 to 8 hours of not really hydrating yourself. And if you've had a protein shake before bed that you make with milk, because then it gets released more slowly while you sleep, there'll still be the end part of your sleep where your muscles weren't getting any protein. So that's why I wake up. If you drink it with water, it gets delivered to the muscles more quickly. So you can start getting your body to recover again. Hydration, a huge part of it after sleeping, and not hydrating yourself while you're sleeping. So I just have one of those, and then I'll have my porridge after that. So thank you for that. Karen's donated $2 as well and says, Phil, does protein increase your metabolism? So thank you for that. And I mean, protein generally, if you're eating food that's high in protein, it's going to make you feel full up for longer. So you won't need to eat as regularly if you're kind of worried about how much food you're taking in. But as for metabolism, the one way to increase your metabolism is by building muscle, because muscle eats calories. It just eats it for you. So you can eat something, and that's why I think people might see me eating a chocolate bar or having a cake, or not that I do that all the time, but they say, oh, how can you eat that stuff and not put on weight? It's because my muscles eat it. So if you can exercise and put on, or even just tone your muscles, have protein, again, make sure you're having enough protein for the muscles to adapt. Those muscles now need calories to just exist. So you will need to eat more. That's why bodybuilders have 5,000 calories a day and sometimes more, is because they've got so many muscles that are just eating calories all the time. They're just burning through it all. So the more muscle mass you have, the more you can get away with eating calorific foods and for it not affecting you as much. So yeah, it's not so much like eating protein that's going to help. It's exercising and having the protein so that you increase your metabolism because you're putting on, or you've got more muscle mass that needs calories. So Yarn's donated $20 as well, so thank you about that. And Yarn says sunshine. So thank you for the donations. And we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video because it's almost 5 past midnight already, and it looks like it's going to be Don't Stop Believing with 61% of the vote. And by the way, I'm not sure we're going to hit the target for tonight because we are aiming for 465 and we've got 412, which means we're looking for, what is that, 52? Is it? It might be. So 52 is what we're going to be aiming for. We're going to be jumping into my version of Don't Stop Believing. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
Small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. There's shadows searching in the night.
And hi guys again. Is Phil here? So, yeah, rather than seeing all the end of that video, that was my version of Don't Stop Believing. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and thank you for voting for that one tonight and asking for that over on Patreon. Now, we do have, 6 minutes left of the live stream. So we're looking for 25 more people to hit the thumbs up to have a Phil Jam, but we might run out of time. Now, the other thing that we do have, or I was going to do, a picture corner. Let's get into that, because there's about 1 million different pictures that we have to look at for that. So let's jump in there. And let me sort out the screen capture to see if I can grab everything that's needed to then show this on screen. Let's see where this... it's got off to the side, to the left-hand side. So let me see if I can grab that. Oh, where's it gone? Here it is. Right, over there. And so... here we have, I feel like I might have shown this one ages ago, I might not have, so I'm showing it again just in case. Leslie said, these are some of my favourite things, a native pollinator garden that I created from nothing. A classic Wings of Pegasus shirt that I ordered in February, arriving on a hot August day. Oh, I think I did show this before, because then I said about how long it took to get delivered from February to then August. So that was that. What's the next one? Oh, well, we're going to be looking at these in a bit of a random order tonight. So this is the most recent one that I got sent, and it's Vince looking at the Spinal Tap 2 movie poster. The end continues, and this is a movie that I would like to watch if I can get time to watch it at some point. And Vince said, saw the new Spinal Tap 2 movie, you gotta go. So thank you for that. And hang on, this is another Spinal Tap theme. Leslie again, and Leslie says, saw it, don't see the point of Elton John being there. Theatre was cold, but my extra small shirt is the length of a mini dress. So thank you for that. And yeah, I've seen in some of the footage from the movie Elton John in there, and yeah, because I haven't seen it, I don't know to what extent or why he's there. I've seen Sir Paul McCartney in there as well. So yeah, yet to see whether it's entirely relevant to the plot of the movie, but I'm sure I will find out if I see that movie at some point. So here we have Vicky, who is showing off her Wings of Pegasus shirt in what we would orange or gold or yellow, and the message is, wow, ordered my shirt last Sunday and it arrived in Australia on Friday. A lot better than 6 weeks from spring. So thank you for that. And yeah, we had a chat about the delivery to Australia earlier. And next, right, now this is on a bike, or the dashboard of a three-wheeler bike type thing, and it's from Teresa, and she says, this made my day. And that was it. Just this made my day. And I think then Laura says, for your information, this is the dashboard of a Can-Am, which is a cool three-wheeled motorcycle. And I haven't got this picture, but Laura's then put a picture for me to see what it is. So it's like a three-wheeled motorbike type thing. So thank you for that. And now we have Angela, who says, yeah, received my Wings of Pegasus baseball shirt from Dashery. Very comfy, with some long-haired dude behind me. So thank you for that. And maybe the dude behind Angela has slightly less long hair now, but thank you for that. And do we have another one? We do. This is Barbara, and Barbara says, wearing my Wings of Pegasus shirt with my grandson Liam while at the backing, I can see myself, hello, the backing's run out. Liam while at my other grandson's Andrew's school celebrating Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day? I didn't even know that was a thing. So anyway, I'll get this away from my face. Thank you guys for sending in those pictures, and Laura for linking me to them. And we know it's a long picture corner when the thing that I made to go in the background of me just kind of playing chords on the guitar, like elevator type music, that only went on for a particular amount of time for how long I was playing. So then it's going to run out at some point, and that's how long it took. So we went over the allotted picture corner time. Right. Anyway, we are going to be calling things to a close. It's midnight now. So we didn't quite make it to the likes goal for tonight, which means next Saturday we're going to have a reset, and it will be close to maybe what we did on Tuesday, but I can't remember where we reset the likeometer to on Tuesday's live stream, but I'll do a similar thing for next week. So yes, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. Live streaming Tuesday night, of course. So with that particular live stream, it will be the reset likeometer, so we might have more chance of getting there. But if you can tune in just to make sure, that would be very much appreciated. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!